Okay, welcome to a new episode of Farm Like a Hero, folks. I'm Richard Perkins. Today I'm here with the team at Good Heidehof in Germany. Started in early 2019, acting as a savory hub in Germany. And the farm raises dual-purpose cattle, as well as dual-purpose poultry, and a no-dig market garden. 3 of the 5-person team have spent time with us at Ridgedale as either interns or farm managers, and another as a guest. So I'm really excited to hear about their collaboration and the development of the project today. Folks, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, let's start the flight over the farm with the building area. We have to the left the big main building, old cow stables. To the right the big riding hall, and then a small riding hall now in the center, and a couple of stable buildings which are mostly storage units at the moment. We have our little farm shop in the center and a big barn just below us before we turn now to the garden. Bio-intensive, no-dig compost mulch systems, experimenting with different mulches, but Alba will tell you more about that in the interview. We have our sheep and the mobile grass mower to the left, and fly now over to our smaller house pasture. It's goose field because wild geese like to nest here while they travel at this little pond. You see the main access road for cars, this alley just below us now. We fly over to the big pasture called pig field. There was a wild boar damage when we came to the farm. We used that ecological disturbance to reseed a little bit. Yeah, that's the main pasture which we graze. We can very nicely see the different parcels. And now we come over to forest field. This is nicely ingrained, bordering the forest, the orchard of the neighbor, and then flying over back to the garden. Once again, the alley just below us, and side view, the nursery now in the center, behind that the sheep, in the mobile lawn hut, and flyover of the garden. Electric ATV standing there. And now we come to the total views. Once again, we have the garden, and we see the chicken in the very left, and the chicken hoops, and this is the view of potential future resource bases plus the farm in the center. Just behind is the land of the city of Hamburg. The same next to our pig field pasture. There's a big pasture in the back which is rented out to a conventional colleague, and that's it.
Tell us a bit the story of the place, because as far as I understand, is it like an estate as part of a bigger sort of conservation area in Germany?
Yeah, you could say so. So Gut Heidehof was founded 1904, and the original intent was to be an agricultural production site for the west of the city of Hamburg. And back in the day, they had like a rather big area of over 400 hectares, which were farmed. It became mainly a milking enterprise, you could say. So they had cattle and milking cows and their own feed production for these. But then over the world wars, obviously the people milking them was still manually back in the day, and they got drawn to war. And then the milking capacity went down, and it slowly turned into like a riding estate. So agriculture was rather set back, and it became a baroque riding estate for the well-known riders of Hamburg. And now since 2019, we've been picking up on the original idea and started producing food again for us and the communities around us. And it's about 20 hectares which remain now out of the previously 400, which we farm now. They are all connected to the farm, so we are in a very nice situation there. It's very uncommon for Germany. Normally land is scattered in little pieces, but we have it all in one bunch. Yeah, and it's mainly pastures and a little bit of arable land.
Tell us a bit about how did the vision come together? Was it, Astrid, you and Stefan originally, or was it with you, Alba, as well? Like, tell us about the sort of formation and the visioning and how that process all worked, and how did you find the land, as it were?
Yeah, so it came to happen through a common acquaintance of Stefan's and the owners of this place. And the three of us, Stefan, Alba, and I, were quite sure we wanted to work together and farm together, and had a lot of ideas about what we wanted to be doing, starting on the regenerative projects. And there was this family owning this place that were looking for people to do this exact thing. So it seemed like quite a good match right from the start. And they're some incredibly sympathetic people that are always enormously supportive, even though it's a long process for them also to understand the depth of what we actually are trying to achieve here.
Okay.
But they are really in it. And
what did that take to establish? Is that sitting down, countless sort of conversations and explaining a vision and hearing their needs? And was it a sort of process like that over the winter? Or?
So it came about, we spent some months in the autumn before starting up, preparing proposals for what this should be looking like according to our ideas, and what it would cost, how long would it take to become profitable, and what would this look like. And we also spent some time aligning our holistic context in the lines of holistic management, being sure that we were all on the same page. On the
you mean as with the owners of the land as well?
Both for ourselves and with the owners.
Interesting, because I know you went off to America, didn't you, to do holistic management training with the Savory Home? Yeah,
so we became accredited last year as the German Savory Hub. Yeah.
Awesome.
And are at the moment also involved in some EOV training, which is ecological monitoring of the property, so we can see where we're going and actually document this.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Tell us a bit about that process then, because it's quite clunky right in the context for yourself, and it's harder to do that with a partner or family. Like, how is that to do that as a group with these people that you essentially moving onto their land to do your thing? How was that process?
Actually, it happened before we agreed to come here. Was Stefan doing it with them? We weren't really ready to jump in it without knowing what was their idea. So Stefan spent the whole weekend with all of the owners, and Stefan is accredited as a teacher for holistic management. So it was just like a workshop with them. And then he came to us and shared with us what came out of that. And that was what helped us to make the decision of, okay, we're going for it. Yeah, and then we made it together, the three of us, because we started only Stefan, Astrid, and me. And then again, when Bork and Hannes came this year. Yeah. And it's also this trust with the owners is being like a slow evolution of giving and taking. And it just keeps going. Yeah, it's like probably the extended family is like they start to understand more and more the more they come and share, but we have all decision-making power of what happens here, and all their support. So
yeah,
awesome.
We'll sit down this winter again to like reassess, like where have we moved in the last 18 months since starting out, and where do we see there are quite a few administrative hurdles which we had to tackle in the first years of starting out at this place. So we hope to have that all wrapped up by winter so that we can start the planning process for the next, hopefully, decades to come.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to come back to that then, please. But so just tell us a bit about the setup. You've got the land's mostly pastoral in one block, but you've got access to buildings that you can live on the farm, and you have a shop there. and some barns and stuff like that, infrastructure.
A lot of farms.
Yeah.
When you fly over the estate, you see there is quite a little bit of building area. We have just on roofed area, we have 5,000 square meters
Oh,
of
wow.
building space, and there are like double stories in many of them, and it's a rather big proportion of building towards land base. And,
Yes. So what's the
it's-
deal there? Are those buildings you have access to?
so we lease them. We have a long-term lease contract for the whole estate.
Does
They're
that mean
also-
you must maintain them also?
No, there's a deal that the way it's set up, there's the family, they have a company owning the place, and then there is the operative company, which we are, and that's the long-term lease. And they
That's
will
perfect.
maintain buildings as the ownership facility, and the lease and certain usages of the building will refinance that.